absolutely goddamn flawless. I don't think
We've lost Nacho.
We've lost Nacho. Incredible.
back.
Listen,
I'm back. I refreshed the
listen.
browser like Paul asked.
Would it even be a questing time stream if it wasn't nearly an hour late, full of technical issues, and we were missing at least one of the cast? Hi guys, welcome to questing time, now with added sound.
Hey!
Thank you guys so much for the hype train. We really hope you enjoyed the copious amounts of beef. All of the subscriptions, all the new follows. Thank you so much for coming through. You guys are fantastic, and it is amazing to be here. So hi, my name is Jess Jewell. I will be your dungeon master for this evening, and we are quite obviously playing Spelljammer. And I am playing with the most incredible group of people ever. I'm very excited for this. So you probably know at least 3 of them from Critical Drinking. So we have with us Sasha, Emily, and Nacho. Guys, say hello.
Hey!
Hi!
And brand new to the Questing Time universe is one of my oldest friends and the guy I would genuinely trust with my life, which tells you a lot about me. It's Sam Demmen-Sewell.
Hi.
Brand new. So yeah, today we'll be playing a little bit of Spelljammer, just a short little cheeky campaign. But first off, what I would love to say is a well-deserved all hail Paul Foxcroft. Woo!
Yes. It was the other direction.
Seriously.
He has done absolute wonders, and I don't know if he has any hair left from the amount he's pulled out in trying to give us audio today.
You can see that I have hair.
He is
It's a
also
good look, Paul. I'd just go for it.
Glorious hair.
he is in the room.
Hair, glorious hair.
Whipping in with many a joke, I'm sure. But yes. Oh, good. I forgot about the eggs stream elements section. I've forgotten we had that.
I thought I disabled that. I'm sorry.
No, leave it in. If anything, it's fantastic. The hair is a lie. How dare you, Dan? How
Stop
dare you?
over-hairing.
Overhairing.
So, what I'm gonna ask our characters and players to do now, I'm gonna ask our players just to give us a little small introduction to their character, just give you a taste, and then we are gonna launch right in to Moonlighters. So, Sasha, hello, welcome, lovely to see you, excellent face paint. Please tell us a little bit about Tee Bee Dee.
Oh, well, thank you, Jess Jewell. And yes, well, Davis, I did draw this on my face because I am playing a little auto gnome, little 3-foot tall mechanical gnome figure. She is a bard, made to be a companion for a lady's maid, or for a lady, so she's kind of that sort of thing. And yeah, now she travels around with the others, but I'm gonna leave, I think, more than that for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. What does your character sort of look like in general? How do they like features, size? What are they wearing? Who are you wearing on this runway?
Oh my god, I'm wearing. So she is a little tiny, cute thing. As you can see, the beautiful character portrait done by our favorite Paul Foxcroft. Blue hair that will be represented in future days once that wig actually arrives in the post. Big glassy eyes, really kind of eager look about her, through the mechanical features. And yeah, this bright red chassis that changes kind of whenever she wants. She has little outfit changes, but in the moment, representing Optimus Prime, apparently.
I love the idea that your wardrobe is maybe built into you and you just sort of transform into different outfits depending on your mood.
Absolutely.
This is beautiful. All right, excellent. So a level 6
I turn into a
auto-gnome
trap.
bard from Sasha called Tee Bee Dee. Nacho, would you like to give us a little insight into Jellamiah S slime?
Of course, yes. Hello everyone. I'm playing Jelly S Lyme, and he is ooze, ooze spider.
He is
a plasmoid.
ooze.
He is a shapeless blob, a yellow shapeless blob, and he has 2 ping pong balls with eyes drawn on them, just for eyesight's sake, and so that people don't look at any other part of his face. And yeah, I'm really excited to be part of the stream. So thank you, Jess, for having me.
Yeah, boy. What class are you again?
Oh, I'm a fighter. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So plasmoid fighter for Jellamiah. Emily, what have we got from Dicky St.Germain, which is, I'm not gonna lie, I love the name.
Thank you. Richard Dicky St.Germain is a level 6 cleric. He's an ancient man. But he looks about 40.
Like
But he's
1800s?
ancient. Don't you want to go away with me? And he because he's old, sort of is on this just lifelong quest for adventure, because as you can imagine, when you've seen it all and done it all, you got to seek out, things to do that are new and different.
Dicky St.Germain, seeking out things that are different because he is an ancient man.
An ancient man. Also he won the ship. He won our ship, that looks like a narwhal, in a bet. But the bet was, bet I can steal your ship. So he's got a lot going on.
Inspired.
That's a really nice little look into Dicky's entire character. Bet I can steal it from you. So Dicky is an astral elf. What class were you in?
Yes. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
we got talking about the ancient man meme, and all of a sudden,
I got distracted. I'm sorry.
So he's an astral elf. What was it?
Yes.
What class?
Cleric.
Sorry. Cleric. There we go. Astral elf
He's the
cleric. Excellent stuff. Which domain do you know are you in?
Life domain.
Life domain. Ooh, opposite
Yes.
of the vampire.
Yes.
Brilliant
He's
stuff.
vampire-y, plague doctor-y, but but it's just sometimes you try to bring people back from the dead, and sometimes you try to just heal people, and you always use leeches. So
yes, leech-based magic, the most known kind. We love to see it. And Sam, last but definitely not least, and definitely newest to both streaming and being in questing time. Hi. So what are you playing today?
I am playing a completely unhinged character that you allowed me to do. I am a Tabaxi Ranger Drake Warden called Charlie Snapjaw Teachley. He's got snow leopard spot body. He has a golden lower jaw with gemstone teeth in it. He looks really scraggly and wears like a leather hat and a little leather vest. He just travels around with his big Drake, who is called various things. Maybe Drakey Jake. Would you let me have a gun? So he's just like small cat, big gun, big Drake, big energy.
The dream.
Yeah, we let the cat have a gun because I think there was a point where I was writing everything down and you just messaged me and went, "Can I have a gun?" And I didn't know if it was in like real life or for the campaign.
But either way, you said yes.
Yeah,
and I'm not
look,
sure.
I'm not here to police you. I'm not your mom. Like, you need to have those conversations with the right people. But yes, Who Blew Mama Goblins coming in there with the big Drake energy. You'll be Can I have a gun? And I didn't know it was in like real life. So for those of you who have never played Spelljammer before, and for anyone watching who has never witnessed Spelljammer before, Spelljammer is set in space and is very much the rules and the way that sort of gravity works and a lot of the external forces affecting our characters and players on their journey are very different to what has maybe been set on Faerun or any other world before. So we will be watching them as they encounter these and figure things out as they go. But for the most part, what we will be doing is starting. We'll be what? Paul's just laughing at me in the background, just like, what are you doing?
Pressing the wrong button and it was switching between you and Sam with some.
I'll just vogue, so it's just always relevant.
Exactly. Jaboa's got it down pat. It's D&D meets Treasure Planet. I love that. I love that as like a base setting for everyone to get involved with. So a few things that will be a little bit different is so this is my first time DMing a long-term, or like a multi-episode campaign. and streaming it. So this is all very new to me and to sort of that performative element. So please be kind. I like you all very much, and I'm gonna try my best to do the Questing Time channel proud. So yeah, be nice, you dicks. But yeah, also we play hard and loose with the rules. That's not a phrase. We play fast and loose with the rules, which is
We also play hot.
we also play it hot, which is I'm probably not going to get it right 100% of the time, and I'm going to go with whatever makes me laugh more. So if there are sort of rules lawyers in the chat, don't be. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for this one. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to be playing this. It's been on my bucket list for ever since the announcement for Spelljammer came out. I was really, really excited. But yeah, so let's begin. How does that sound? All right. So the Astral Sea is the darkness between stars. It is beyond the capabilities of anyone pretty much on Toril, on any of the other sort of in any of the Wildspace systems to imagine, unless they've actually been there. It feels so different to what you would expect. You'd think it was cold, you'd think it was a vacuum, but it's not. The Astral Sea is a space of never-ending existence. It feels almost like you lose yourself a little bit, knowing that here, amidst these silvery waves and wonderful glittering skies that go on forever, that you could lose yourself here. It is a wonderful experience to feel body and soul. And in the Astral Sea, for travelers far and wide to be able to traverse the great expanses, spelljammers are used to traverse from A to B and planet to planet, and even from Wildspace system to Wildspace system. Spelljammers look like ships, or maybe beasts, or maybe even cities. They can be pretty much any size, although according to the rules, they have to be more than 1 ton. So not any size, but sort of. These massive ships are what carry trade through the regions of space. They are what explorers and adventurers rely on to seek beyond the world and the stars that they know, to go to other systems that are to them as of yet unknown. And it is within this Astral Sea that we come across the Narhole. I let them name a goddamn ship. I get what I deserve, I guess, at this point. The Narhole is a battle dolphin formation pleasure cruiser.
Yeah, it is.
Battle dolphins have, I think it's 7 or 8 different decks. These massive ships resemble almost like a staircase. They start at one level and then come up and around at the top. There is a scuttle at the very top end, and then at the bottom towards sort of the I learned all the bits of the boat, and now I've forgotten all of the bits of the boat. The front bit of the boat is generally where the command
bow?
deck is. The bow, thank you. I got like the aft and the starboard, and no, it's the bow, of course. The poop deck, yes. So at the bow of the ship is this. It's beautiful and very intricate, clearly made for passengers and visitors. Not necessarily what you would call a warship, but there have been some hodgepodge adjustments made, ballistas attached to the side. And at the very front of the ship as well is a sort of corkscrew-like spear jutting out at the front. This ship looks like someone made it in Tetris. It doesn't look quite right. And yet, this is where we find 3 brave adventurers going about their day to day. brave adventurers, that of which we have an astral elf cleric, a plasmoid slime, and a little auto gnome bard. So, you three, could you tell me what you're doing on the ship as it is traveling, as it is moving through the astral waves?
Sure. So Dicky is holding a vial of blood. Don't worry, it's not his. And he's like kind of shaking it and is noticing that it's pretty dried up. And when he was experimenting on this blood, obviously it was a little more wet. But because time moves differently in the Astral Sea, this is kind of working as a bit of a like indicator for him of, I think we've been in space a bit longer than I realize. I think I'm starting to get, what's the technical name for the space crazies? Remind me again?
Yes. So in this sort of section of astral travel and Spelljammer that we have created, there is when sailors go, there is a nautical term, but when sailors go to sea and they go out for far too long, they begin to go a little stir crazy, a little cabin crazy. In space, they go star blind or star crazy. When they spend a little bit too long in the Astral Sea in this state of eternal immortality, it begins to take a toll on their mortal mind. They stop being able to comprehend how time is passing. And so, Dicky, with the vial of blood, I'm assuming that's how you are gauging how long things have been in space for.
Yes, and of course, too, Dicky is like, wait, did I do something to the blood that would make it work differently? No, I don't think I did anything to the blood that would make it do that. And so as Dicky's sort of rolling through his mind, thinking all of these thoughts, comes to the conclusion that we got to get out of the Astral Sea. Now, obviously, I want to know what the other characters are doing, but yeah, right now, Dicky is pondering the blood.
Pondering the blood.
Yes.
So
yes.
Whereabouts in the ship would you be doing that? Sort of in your quarters, on the deck, like whereabouts?
Oh, on the deck. In Dicky, we kind of talked a little bit about what role everyone plays on the ship, and Dicky is the captain of the ship. So Dicky is kind of like sprawled out in the captain's chair with the blood, just kind of shaking it, staring at it, and looking a little perturbed, but not like super perturbed, like trying to like keep it chill.
Beautiful.
Outside of the captain's quarters, you hear
Dicky, I finished cleaning up all the stardust. Do you need anything else from me?
Honestly, I just appreciate everything that you contribute to the boat, Jelly. I do think I might need you to help pilot us out of here in a minute, because I think we've been in space longer than we realize, but just keep doing the good work. You're the man.
All right, I'll go tell Tee Bee that you want to go back to the actual realm we came from.
and you just hear
You stay groovy, buddy.
From the distance, you hear "We are family. It's Dicky and Jelly and me. We take space debris and hit anybody we see." And just like a little lute strumming along to it, coming in closer towards the deck because she's kind of finding someone to sing at.
Tee Bee,
like-
we have to go back.
Jelly. Pourquoi?
The blood in the vial is dry, and now the captain wants to go back, so therefore we have to go back.
But we have more blood. Should I get more blood? Dicky, do you need more blood?
Tee Bee, thank you for offering to get me more blood, but see, the blood is not so much the issue as it is the passage of time. I know it's a bit different for you being mechanical, but I'm still made out of meat, so time in space can get a little stressful for me. Jelly, I'm glad you noticed the thing about the blood. That really affirms that it's not in my head. For a moment there, I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I might be a bit it.
I'm also
Going
starting
crazy
to
as an
fart a lot.
individual.
I'm also starting to fart a lot, so I think it's time for us to go because I'm full of air.
As you guys are discussing this out on the deck, and just sort of trying to figure out sort of when would be the best time to head back, you hear, ow, and as you turn round, your little autonome cabin boy, 80085, who looks like two little brass balls basically balanced on top of one another, is sort of has figured out how to use the stairs and has fallen quite promptly down them. Yes, the chat gets the joke immediately, of course. I didn't expect anything less. But 80085 is sort of in two like separate balls at the bottom of the stairs, and you sort of hear like a magnetic zip, and the balls come back together. One hops on top of the other, and he turns to look at you, and he's just got two very large holographic eyes sort of on the top smaller ball, looking at you, and they sort of they emote up into sort of two happy looking little eyes, like, are we going? Are we leaving now?
I think so. Dicky, it's your call though.
Dicky, to make sure that everything looks extra official, puts on his official hat and goes, we're going.
Aye, Captain. And 80085 goes back to the stairs and then begins to sort of use the momentum of each ball to sort of like clamber up, like one ball at a time, and makes his way to the spelljamming helm. So he rolls along and begins to sort of, you can hear, even as he's going up the stairs, loads of little calculations sort of fizzing in one of the balls. Who knows where his brain, little mechanical brain is? It could be anywhere. But he heads all the way back up and then sits at the spelljamming helm. Is this really beautiful, elegant looking chair. It looks just perfectly in place with the rest of the ship. It's got like a plush red velvet seating, and it's made of like a dark mahogany, and underneath you can see great big pink crystals. So it's floating, but it's stationary and in one spot. The spelljamming helm is where pretty much every single every element of the ship is controlled from. This is your captain's helm. The way in which it works is one of your crew attunes to it, and then you are able to control pretty much everything as if it was an extension of your own body, which makes it really cool, but also very expensive. So 80085 sort of like rolls up to it, and looks down at the captain from that sort of second level and goes, do we have a heading?
I'm gonna confer with the others really quickly, and I'll be right back with you, Bee Bee. Jolly, thank you. Jolly and Tee Bee, where would be a good place for some ship repairs and some time for the brain to get a little less crazy?
How about Fiji?
Oh, Jelly, you're always talking about Fiji. Last time we went there, they totally wrecked the stern. I don't know what they did.
Dicky sort of just like leans back in the captain's chair a little bit and goes, Fiji'll do.
Oh, Dicky. Fine.
Is that Fiji on Tauril, the planet where the majority of the adventures occur?
Yes,
Definitely not meta.
That is definitely correct. You are right, boobies.
BB's head sort of spins around a little bit, and then he begins to sort of navigate almost. You can see him. He attunes to the chair, and sits sort of at the foot. So while Dicky is sat in it, BB is almost at the foot like a little lapdog, and it is ready to go. And he sort of points his head sort of in the right direction, ish, and goes, okay. Heading acquired. I might be off by 10 to 8 million miles. Is that a
That'll
reasonable?
do.
Okay.
That'll do. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. We will hit realm space within at least 1 day. That should do it. And he begins again to sort of like settle in and attune, and then you feel the ship move, and it is almost like a great wave has come up and under the ship and has sort of moved it from the back forward. This sort of rush of momentum. It is exhilarating and exciting.
Jelly splashes on the floor.
You just immediately liquid state. Complete liquid state.
Tee Bee goes and gets a broom. Oh, not again. Every time we get into hyperspace, it happens.
When you're using the broom to try and like sweep up a liquid.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so as the auto-gnome bard is attempting to sweep up a liquid with a broom, the ship begins to move through space, and as it does, you see the stars crowning over the ship sort of race forward. You are immediately aware that you are going at a speed that you would never be able to achieve on your own. This is over 100 million miles in a single day, sorts of speeds. So this is a rush. This is absolutely breakneck speeds, but within the ship itself and through the sort of silvery void, it barely feels like anything. You are firmly affixed to the ship. And so as it is moving forward, what would each of you sort of like to be doing as the ship moves?
I think once Tee Bee has finished kind of brooming bits of Jellamiah into something resembling a singular puddle that can then reform whenever he's ready.
Like a bucket?
Yes. So just brooms Jellamiah into a bucket and just like, okay, Jelly, what would you like for dinner? I'll go check with the kitchens.
Do we have any seltzer water? I kind of want to look like a disco ball again.
Oh, that was fun. Okay, seltzer water. Dicky.
I think if you're in the kitchen, if you could also grab the speakers, I'm gonna prepare the disco ball playlist. And
Is it my birthday?
It can be your birthday anytime you want, because I've lost all concept of time, and also you're special. You are special and important to me. Happy birthday, Tee Bee Dee.
Tee Bee. And then she tunnels off, I think, out to go towards the kitchen, just sort of singing to herself, Tee Bee, Tee Bee, Tee Bee, Tee Bee.
Adorable. So as life goes on the Narhole, and there is nothing really out of the ordinary within any sort of actions that you guys are taking. It's very, very chill. There would be no reason to panic at any point. It is almost like watching just life go by on a very normal pleasure cruiser that you have created. Very normal. The ship is speeding. It's completely unencumbered. It's good conditions. You're moving at top speed and life is good. And all of a sudden, the ship feels like it's hit like a wall almost. And everyone is just thrown ever so slightly forward, like jaunts off kilter. Could you all make me dexterity saving throws, please?
Yes.
Rolling things.
18.
18.
Oof. 9.
4.
Oh, beautiful. So, because Jelly is in the bucket is stationary. That does not move at all. Tee Bee is pulled off balance ever so slightly. So while you are in the kitchen, I'm gonna say like whatever you were grabbing, maybe like you just sort of rock forward and bash your head against like the side or something. But it just makes like a dink noise. It doesn't hurt you at all. You're absolutely fine. But you feel yourself roll off balance and like and tumble over. It feels like you don't like your legs have just buckled underneath you. Dicky is thrown from the chair face first. and out and onto the floor, and then on top of 80085. And as you sort of fly sort of face first, and like 80085 looks back at you in like a slow-mo, like, oh no, and can't do anything because it doesn't have arms, and just sort of like tries to get out the way but can't quite, and you both land in like a heap on the floor. And he's like sort of, as he's sort of rolling over towards your face area, he sort of looks at you dead in the eyes and goes, "Captain, I found something." There is what appears to be a humanoid shape drifting about 5 leagues in front of us. I didn't want to. I braked too hard. I didn't want to hit him. The last time we did that, it took so long to clean the spire at the front. I don't want to do that again. My dexterity is not what it used to be.
No, I understand. Glad you could avoid it. Are you okay, by the way? I know you felt the weight of my full body, and that can be a lot for some people, so you okay?
You are very kind and very weirdly light. That you're fine. I'm happy that we're close to one another like this.
Good,
now.
good. I used to be a human javelin. The aerodynamics are important. Anyway, that's not what we're dealing with right now. That humanoid, I want to find out what's going on with that. This is exciting. This is something that doesn't happen too often. Can we call him? Is there a way to patch in and communicate? See what's going on?
We can. I can pull up beside, and maybe or near or in front. I do not want him to get too close. They may be hostile. It may be hostile, is my only thinking. I will pull up as close as I am comfortable getting to, and then you call the shots, Captain.
Tee Bee comes running in like, Dicky, Jelly, Bee Bee, is everybody okay? I have the Sunset and Disco Ball, but there was a jolt.
Yeah, I was just picking straw off of my body because of the broom you used, but I'm feeling fine.
Beautiful.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I ate it. I bit it. I tasted the ground, but I'm doing fine.
But he did so with style.
Yeah,
but of course, it is Dicky.
You bounce back, kid. That's right.
So 80085 sort of turns back and begins to maneuver the ship much slower in towards sort of a patch of space that doesn't appear to have sort of any of the silvery mist that is commonplace all through the Astral Sea. Within that sort of little void area, you can just see what looks like a large cat stretched out luxuriously with its hands behind its head, eyes closed, without a care in the world. 80085 begins to sort of pull the Narhole up a little closer to it so that the top end of the ship sort of meets him at the side. And you can begin to see that this is a tabaxi. And they are quite happy, quite seemingly oblivious of the massive ship pulling up next to them. But yeah. Actually, Sam, could you make me a passive perception? What is your passive perception, actually?
It should be actually pretty sick. No, it is not. My wisdom is 10, so my passive perception is 10.
Oh, okay. It isn't until the ship is within about 10 foot of you that you realize it's there. And this is with all of the clamoring on the deck going on as well.
Nice. Yeah.
But once you do, what would you like to do?
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm out here, I'm cruising through the Astral Sea. I would like to be kind of laid on top of my Drake, kind of like those inflatable alligator things that you get in pools. So like the Drake's just like that. I'm just there chilling like, you know what, Drakey Jake? I can't believe we made it this far. It's just us against the entire universe. Just you and me and that massive ship. What is happening there?
Can sound travel through it? Probably not, yeah?
Yeah, no, sound can travel, absolutely.
Dicky, Jelly, look, it is a pussycat. Hello, pussycat. Hello, that is a nice lizard. What are you doing out there?
God, I don't know. I think he'd be like, I think he'll stand up on his Drake. I think his Drake's still like quite inert. I don't know whether it's through training or just will not move until given direct orders. I'm just there like, I was really coming to hoping to come across you to talk about your extended ship warranty. Now, if you allow me to come on board.
I don't
Talking
think
about-
I don't know if we should trust this guy. He's talking about insurance and warranty, and I'm a little nervous just because the last job I had was a little. It had to do with brokers, and this guy seems like he's gonna rob us.
Are you saying
What do
this
you
out loud?
think? Yeah, I'm talking to Dicky.
Sam, you can hear this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I understand. I'm making everyone nervous. I'll just come on board. That's the easiest way to make everyone calm down. I'll just wait. If we're in the Astral Sea, can I just brain my way over?
Yeah, so you will float at whatever. I think you have like a movement speed, but it should be about 40 feet per action. So you sort of slowly begin to sort of close that 10-foot gap, and then, unless anybody wants to stop him, he steps onto the ship quite elegantly.
Yes, Dicky does nothing to stop him and just goes, I guess this is happening. Ahoy!
We have a new friend. This is so exciting. Hello, pussycat. What is your name?
Hello. You can call me Charlie. You're absolutely delightful creatures. Thank you for having me on board. And he like gets this little kind of like rope out, which is attached to Drakey Jack, and just kind of like winches him in, just like bringing him into the ship.
Oh
And
my
a
god.
pet.
My name is Charlie. This is Drakey Jack. It is a pleasure to meet you all. And yourselves are?
I'm Tee Bee.
Ooh, excellent. Tee Bee. I'll write that down. And he gets like inside his like leather vest jacket. He'll just like flip through some pages like, Tee Bee. Nice. Said I was a very nice pussycat.
Oh, no, Jelly, I insist after you.
My name is Jellamiah S. Slime, and I am the second in command in the ship, I guess. Welcome aboard.
Excellent. Like reaches out a paw, like going for. I don't think he's come across. I don't think he's come across anyone like Jeremiah. It's like reaches out a paw. Is like, excellent. Oh, that's really in there now, isn't it? It's like in the women.
Like,
Excellent.
yeah, handshakes with Jellamiah, like the hand goes into the slime and then like it's just submerged there, like
Perfect.
as it's there. Jellamiah knows, I think, that he could form a hand if he wants to, but he likes the look of discomfort on everyone's face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible.
Jellamiah, with me forever in my fur.
And vice versa.
Dicky is just kind of like eyeing the fur that is stuck to Jelly, kind of like thinking about maybe grabbing some later for experimentation purposes. But then refocuses and is like, yes, hi. I'm the captain. My name is Dicky St.Germain. You can call me Dicky. You might have heard of me. I'm quite old, and I'm also the reason behind a surprising number of warning labels. So, you know, I'm not a big deal, but some people know me.
And I'm sure that they are absolutely pleased to know you. And like both hand grip with some of Jellamiah, if you will, allow me, Nacho, to transfer your slime across in this handshake.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Absolute
Dicky
pleasure.
goes in to do the like circus grip Roman handshake for some reason.
Oh, this is very intimate for no apparent reason, but okay. Wow.
You're on my ship. You're my friend now.
Oh, all right. Dicky.
From
Excellent.
in between Dicky's legs, 80085 rolls forward, and in lieu of arms, his head just rolls across his body, like left, right, left, right, left, right, like a wave. And he goes, 80085 designation. What are you doing out here?
All right, I'll admit the insurance thing is usually something that gets me on board. I'm an ecologist. I'm just traveling the Astral Sea, seeing what I can find. I'm after all and every type of being so I can have a look. I can increase my taxonomical knowledge. And also, I'm here for a good time.
Well,
Dicky takes an enormous inhale and goes, I must show you my laboratory. We have to do experiments together.
Oh, wow.
I've not met someone as excited about science and ecology as me in a long time, friend.
Also, I have a disco ball and some seltzer for the good time later.
Good time,
Tick.
good time, good time.
Tick, tick, and Nacho. Jellamiah.
It's okay. We do have nachos on board somewhere in the kitchen, I am assured.
Jellamiah, I can tell you're here for a good time too. Excellent. I can tell I can fit in. Is there anything I can help with up front? I'll, pay for passage or any kind. I can score several things whilst we dock anywhere if that's a necessity.
Yes.
Excellent. Right. I've become an accomplice immediately.
We are on our current heading back to realm space, with destination in mind of Fiji. You know, that well-known island in Toril. definitely exists here now. This is our current heading. If you have no qualms, or if you require us to drop you off along the way, more than happy to help.
No, the everything should have died down by now. So yeah, that sounds good.
Roger. No, Charlie, and with that, BB rolls back towards the spelljamming helm, and just lets out a little call like, "We'll need to get going relatively soon before the captain goes crazy," and just like leaves.
Okay, strong lead up front. Excellent.
Also, thank you, Ed Fortune, for the bits.
Oh my gosh!
What
Thank
can
you.
I ask? What is activate the battle, Narhole?
What is that?
Well, if someone would like to redeem it, then we'll find out.
Ed
Ed
Fortune
Fortune
has.
has redeem it. Okay,
That's
so
the thing.
as 80085 comes rolls around back to the sort of point of the spelljamming helm, and slots himself in, what you guys feel is so you guys are sort of stood at the top section of the Narhole now, but BB, you just hear BB go, "Oh no," and the entire section of the narwhal begins to curve around. So the tail sort of like flukes up and around, and you see the tail itself sort of moves apart, and a ballista gun comes out of the tail portion. You guys are now upside down, but the way that the gravity plane works on this ship means that like you're fine. You're not falling off or anything, but you are now, you definitely feel upside down. But yeah, that's this is the battle dolphin in battle mode. The Narhole in battle mode. It is ready to fire one massive cannon that sort of sits in the tail section. So yeah, BB calls out to everyone like, "Sorry, my bad, wrong button," and like, scooches around again, and then the tail comes back down and around and stops. I didn't actually know it could do that. Sorry.
Wait. Can it do that at will? Can you do that like three?
Oh yeah.
Can you do that 3 more times in a row? I just that feeling of vertigo is a bit exciting for me. Not in a weird way. No. I just mean I haven't experienced it a lot before. Can you? I just.
All right.
I asked it. I
right.
take it back.
Aye, Captain. And you feel the ship. Like, basically, we've turned the ship into a theme park ride, and so it just keeps curving back and forth. Like, what's Dicky's face look like when this is happening?
So Dicky, like, for the first round, still is like a little like embarrassed looking, but the next two is just like, Yeah, that's the stuff.
Can confirm,
just
Captain.
like-
That is the stuff.
And it's just Dicky's also just kind of like looking around to see if anything changes or if anything looks different due to his change in perspective.
Can you make me a perception check?
Yes,
Cool.
I would love to.
So
Once my mouse remembers how to mouse.
no worries.
Okay.
Actually, well, because you are all up at the top, and you might not have seen what has happened as well.
22.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So on the first time round, when the battle narwhal sort of comes up and around, you see the massive cannon come out of the tail section, but you also see the fins at the front of the battle narwhal sort of come in, and then out of both sides come two more ballista guns. But they look like little Gatling guns, so these are like rapid fire, whereas the cannon at the top is like a big boy. It's a huge boy. I don't know gun terms. I was too busy remembering and forgetting boat terms to remember gun terms. But yeah, big boy and two smaller boys down at the side. So this thing could do some serious damage. But on that third attempt to sort of come back up and around, as it's sort of coming back down to land, the tail can't quite go down, and you just hear like a creak and then something snap. And as the sort of tail comes back, like 80085 goes, Captain, we're gonna need that maintenance check sooner rather than later.
It's okay, Dicky. I can still swing you upside down, and she goes like trying to pick him up.
Could you
Does
make
it
me a
work?
strength check?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is 13.
You move one of Dicky's legs. I can do it, Dicky, and then you just sort of lift it up and wiggle it a bit.
Look at you,
Oh, it's
feels
very
everything.
Excellent.
Dicky kind of files away in his head how that felt and goes, well, once we repair the ship, now I know what to do the next time I want to feel something. And then sort of looks at TB, pats TB on the head, is like, thank you, TB. BB, yes, I agree. It's time for some maintenance. Hopefully, Bobby Maintenance in Fiji has his docket open. Honestly, he's got very reasonable prices and has been very tolerant of some of the issues that we've been having on our ship. So,
Yes, aye, sir. Mr. Teachley,
Yes.
if you would be so kind as to stow your Drake, otherwise I am afraid he will be towed along on this journey like a kite made of meat.
You know what? I've never asked him if he likes that, but I've heard no complaints so far. But come on, I'm just like winching back in.
If you want to leave him there, then I go.
No, I can't do that to Drakely Jake. Derek Jacoby.
The Jacobin.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll bring him on board. And I'm just like doing a load of like comfort things, like it's okay. See, these people are all right, and they're like, I just hand like little kind of like meaty treats to everyone. Just they're like, you just go forward and just hold your hand out still. If he bites your hand, that's kind of it, I'm afraid. But he will get to, he'll become more fond of you, I guess.
Drakey J.
The second that Jelly touches the meat treat, it starts dissolving in his hands, turning into like foam, and he's like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I could just pet it. And I just start petting it, and like there's slime on slime on slime.
Drakey Jake is assessing the situation, shall we say, and sort of, if he could cock an eyebrow, he would be at Charlie, like, fucking really, bro? But he seems quite content. He's not aggressive. Like, you guys, both of these characters, they pass the vibe check. They are quite the addition to your team, as it were. So, TB, no, wrong auto gnome. BB rolls back into position, and his head whirs round again as he readjusts and goes, Captain, I may be off by 10 to 15 million light years, million miles now. I do apologize. I may need to get some maintenance myself. And with that, the ship again begins to move forward. It's a rush of inertia. It's brilliant. And whoop, the ship moves. Yeah, you guys are now all on board the moving narwhal. It will take less than half a day to reach your destination. As you are moving through the Astral Sea, going about your day, like, do you guys want to be doing anything? Charlie, especially, like, is there anything about this strange new ship that you want to explore? Or
I think as you've alluded to earlier, like the split decks are, I think the gravity plane's like halfway through the ship, so some of the sections are just upside down.
So I looked at this. The gravity plane for the battle narwhal is along one of the lowest points. So everything above, including sort of like the tail and that top deck, that's all the same gravity. And then below the cargo deck, that's where the gravity line ends. So if you were to go down, if you want to go down into the cargo deck, I can tell you what happens.
No, I think that's fine. I think Charlie's quite interested to take Dicky up on his offer of like having a look at samples and doing some stuff. So he's just kind of mooching about. I think whilst everybody else is doing their own chores, I think he like goes into like it's the first time he's had a stable location, so he just like checks over Drakey Jake and he's like, all right, so we're just gonna check some of these scales. Some of these might need to be sloughed off, just like a little bit of pet maintenance. But yeah.
Aww.
That and just stealing any food that isn't like stowed away. He'll just assume is his, so he'll just eat it.
Excellent.
Can Jelly try to squeeze through the front of the ship to see what broke and see if he could fix it himself?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you sort of find you move up and down the sort of tail section via a series of stairs, and each of those have different decks. And because this used to be a pleasure vehicle, each room has like a different theme. So one room is like, it's all the drapes and silks and finery and fancy. There's a 4-poster bed in there, my word. On the next sort of floor down, it is dungeon-esque, shall we say. And then the next sort of one down as well, you see it looks like there's a table in the middle, there's some dice on it, like what looks like, I don't know, sheets with someone else's sort of statistics on it. I don't know, you don't really recognize it, like you've never been into this section before, but you're pretty certain that whoever likes this sort of stuff is a big fucking nerd. So you move out and around, and just next to the sort of set of stairs that you use to get up and down, there is like a big mechanical spine that runs through the length of the tail. And at the hinge of this spine, where that top deck and the other decks meet, there seems to be, in a mechanism that sort of controls the tail, sort of like vertebra-like roll forward, one of the discs in those vertebrae has sort of slipped out. It's sort of squishy. It's almost plasmoid-like, weirdly. It's this sort of very tough, very squishy substance, but it looks very specific. Could you make me... Could you roll me a history check, actually? I want to see if you have any idea what this might be.
That's a 21.
Oh, yeah. You know this to be... it is a rare material sourced pretty much purely for this variety of Spelljammer. It is a very tough gelatin-like substance called Kilek. Kilek is only sourced on Toril. So you'd need to go back to Toril to get it like properly fixed. But there are trade routes in and out of Toril that do source it, so you might be able to find it on another planet, or with another a Spelljammer smith might have some. But you wouldn't be able to fix this yourself. The specific part is basically like torn at a point, almost like a slit disc in like a spine. You wouldn't want to just shove anything in there. That's a recipe. That's a bad recipe, unless you really want it. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. But yeah, that's...
Jelly scurries back to Dicky, and he just grabs a rag and he's like cleaning his hands almost like a mechanic would do, and says,
All right, Dicky, we have to go back to Toril. Unfortunately, one of the parts made out of Kellic is damaged, and we have to go back to Toril because otherwise we won't be able to get the fix that we need on the ship.
Thank you for doing that check. It's nice to know, and we can always inform the rest of the crew if necessary. We can head back to Tarl, see my good buddy Bobby Maintenance, get it all fixed up, and the next thing you know, we can go on vacation. It's just a shame it has to be postponed on account of, slipped... What was it?
It's slipped Kellic.
Slipped Kellic. You know, in my day, we used to have carriage wheels, and they'd fall off.
Okay, well, I'll go tell BB and TB.
Thank you.
Such an 1800s man thing to say.
He's an ancient man. I can't do the voice. I can't do it.
Man.
Do you want to come away with me?
Humans never existed.
So with this knowledge about the Kellic and everything, you're already on your way back to realm space. So there's no sort of deviation in heading. And Jelly, oh my god, sorry, I'm being attacked by ladybirds again. This is fucking wild. They are everywhere. Yeah, I wish that was like a thing in stream. It's not. I'm just genuinely in my room being pelted by ladybirds. So yeah, as the ship continues on, and a couple of hours pass, and all of a sudden you feel the ship begin to sort of change gear almost. There is like a sort of mechanical whirring, and then you just hear BB go, everyone, if you would like to see the bubbling, I would recommend getting on top of one of the decks now. We are approaching realm space.
Who's a bubbling? Come on, Charlie. Come on, Drakey Jake.
Dicky sort of just pops up from the chaise lounge he had somehow found and was just like laying in dramatically. And it's like, the bubbles are groovy. The bubbles are one of my favorite parts. Let's go.
Amazing.
Lead the way.
So out on the deck where sort of you all are gathered, you see before you the enormous mass that is realm space. It is, you can't see the top of it and you cannot see the bottom of it. To you, it just looks like one massive long wall that is slightly translucent, but through it, you can see at the very center a bright glimmer. It seems like a really big star. This is realm space. This is the Wildspace system that you guys all know, where Toril and I think it's 7 or 8 other planets also exist, circling around like a solar system. Now, as you guys are sort of on the deck, the ship begins to merge into the wall. And as it sort of pulls through, you see the sort of front section of the wall begin to form a large bubble around the entire ship. As it sort of pops through, you hear like and the ship is effectively sort of pulled through and then into the Wildspace system. There is a noticeable drop in temperature. It doesn't feel the same as the Astral Sea. It is also completely clear. You can see every single star above and below you. Nothing is obscured by the silvery void. There is no sort of mist here. Everything looks very, very clear. So as you sort of move forward and leave the massive wall of air, the air pocket wall behind you, it feels more and more like you are distancing yourself from just the wildness of space. Dicky, you begin to feel yourself ground a little. Not loads, because it's sort of still that sort of space leg feeling. It's like your mind is ever so slightly out of phase with the rest of the body, but it's coming back. it feels like it's just sort of shifting back into position, like you're getting a better idea of where you are and what time is again. And the ship moves forward quite happily, and Bee Dee on the deck is wobbling his head sort of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, like, I do love the bubbling. It's my shape. But must remind new passengers. Please do not step foot outside of the air bubble while you are on board the ship and in Wildspace. You may or may not die. That is all. Air bubbles are hard to maintain.
I think Charlie like double grips the handrail, like understood. Like seeing as it's quite cold now, I think all his furs stood on end, so he just looks like twice as poofier. He's like.
So you have definitely been around a Wildspace system before. You do know how it works, but it's been a while since you've been back in one, let's say, and you can feel that sort of that tangible change in the air and the way that everything works. But Bee Dee seems very content and very happy, and the ship continues on.
Charlie?
Yeah?
As a man of science and a cleric, I have 2 questions for you. First of all, can you die?
Oh my god.
I've seen things that have tested that limit, but I'm pretty sure I can.
Ah, good to know. If you die, this is my second question, get ready.
Okay.
If you die, can I do experiments on your corpse?
Dicky, stop scaring the new passenger with your weird questions.
No.
Consent between doctor and patient, my good man.
I have the form here, Dicky. Here.
Wow.
Here, Charlie.
Thank you, Tee Bee.
That's alarmingly quick on the uptake there.
I have them right here. I am like a personal secretary occasionally. I have the vials of blood. Dicky can explain those. And on this side, we have the paperwork.
Moonlighters, an organ harvesting campaign. Real happy we've done this, guys.
Let's discuss gold over drinks, and I think I'm for it. I won't be using it beyond that point, so yeah.
It's noble to donate your body to science. Thank you.
And I love gold.
Yeah, I respected you to begin with, but now I respect you even more.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
There are some notes I was not expecting to have to write down. Session 1. But cool. No, we like to know that there is now a contract between Charlie and Dicky over the rights to his fucking body. Cool. Great.
I would really hope that you're not that good at like taxidermy, so it'd be like one of those bug-eyed stuff, like
it's in the shape of that monkey that's just going.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yep. This feels like. Yeah, no, I'm gone. I'm done. Brilliant. As you guys are having this conversation, I'm going to say like a couple of hours have passed. You are moving sort of slowly towards what seems to be an asteroid belt, just on sort of the rim. This is, I had a name for it. I came up with it because I didn't want to use anything else. I did have a name for it. Here we go. So because you guys have all traveled through this Wildspace system before, you have all been on and off Toril. So you just have this sort of pretty inherent knowledge. This is the Repuic belt. It is a belt of large and small asteroids that pretty much almost mimic the bubble all the way around the entire system. So it's like a bubble of rocks within a bubble of air because. So as the ship approaches this asteroid belt, it slows down, and you can feel the ship itself is navigating its way through these massive rocks. All of them appear to be sort of old, ancient, like 1800s, and all floating in this sort of very weird uniform design all the way around. like the world's worst Kinder Egg. And as the ship approaches, you can sort of hear Bee Dee not feel quite confident and is sort of slowly weaving through each rock. And some of them are coming uncomfortably close. It is starting to feel quite claustrophobic. And as far as you can all see, there's at least like half a mile, if not several miles, of rocks going forward. So Tee Bee is sort of very slowly inching their way through. Sorry, Bee Bee's inching their way through. Too many.
This isn't going to be confusing.
Yeah, no, too many goddamn autonomes on this goddamn plane.
Can I mean, I know you're not rolling as Bee Bee, but can Dicky be using his guidance cantrip to just kind of cheer on Bee Bee, just like, this is a challenging field and you're doing a great job. I am grateful for every day that you were on this crew, and also your paintings are beautiful and you deserve more credit for that. I've been to your DeviantArt page, it's great.
Thank you so much, Captain. From you, that means so very much. Nobody goes on my DeviantArt page. I forgot I even had one. I set it up when I was like 13 years old, and now it's just an embarrassment that I don't know how to remove. Oh, thank you, Captain.
I think you should know it's also still linked to your live journal, and perhaps you should be embarrassed about that one.
So with this sort of guidance, Bee Bee becomes a little bit more confident. The ship speeds up a little and begins to sort of maneuver. I'm actually going to make him roll. So with a 5, I'm going to say his concentration just sort of drops ever so slightly, and you can sort of see one very large asteroid and then another very close. Like the gap between them is narrow, but Bee Bee sort of heightened by this confidence thinks he can make the gap, and as he's sort of moving forward, you just hear this scream as the asteroid like tears the paint away from the side of the narwhal.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
Bee Bee looks up to Dicky and goes, I don't know if I can do this, Captain. Can you take over?
You know what? I'll give it a try. And honestly, I know you gave it your best try as well, and this is a very difficult thing to navigate. I've never seen anyone do it with a sense of ease. Piloting is hard.
Roger. Bee Bee sort of hops out of the little divot sort of beneath the spelljamming helm that's sort of been carved in it for him, almost, or where he basically fits, and you take up the helm. As you attune, or you have been attuned to the ship, it accepts you immediately, and you feel like you know the ship by like the back of your hand. It feels like your arms and legs have a sense of pins and needles. They're not there almost. You are with the ship. And as you move, it moves. Could you... sorry. So you move forward and you keep going, I'm assuming?
Yep, So basically, from Dicky's perspective, Dicky's gonna try to just like tag in and work through the asteroids until we're back in like clear space, and just give it back to Bee Bee, since Bee Bee is a bit better with navigation and with driving. But yes, so Dicky's just gonna be I'm sorry, wait, did you say that it's attuned to his arms and his legs?
It's attuned to your whole body. So it's like your entire body is the ship, but it's your arms and legs that you feel sort of the most, almost like the inner workings. If you were to sort of move a finger or like or shift your posture or position, the ship would move with you. So that's sort of like you are steering it with your sense of self.
Okay, so Dicky kind of like, as he's first attuning, he's nervous. He's like crossed his legs as his shoulders are kind of up high, and as he's feeling himself attune and having his body in that position is affecting the ship, goes, oh god damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is under control. I just have to readjust. Thank you.
TB looks up for where she's been buying the Drake's love with buckets of mystery meat. She has been running around and finding on the ship, some which had come from the Dicky den. Some from the kitchen, some from just, random shelves. Shit, I don't know why I just used a Russian word there when I speak better English than Russian. Shit, crevices, cracks, whatever, that's the thing. And just like gives bardic inspiration to Dicky, just going, "Go, Dicky! I know you can do it. Oh, Dicky, you're so fine. You're so fine. You're my man. Hey, Dicky. Hey, Dicky."
So a little cheer team next to the captain's helm. Beautifully, Dicky is moving with grace, and almost like he's done this 1,000 times. He knows this asteroid field well. So just moves very, very naturally through the rest of the field. Bee Dee rolls off and goes to find Jellamiah. Whereabouts is Jellamiah at this point?
Jelly is kind of hanging out at the front of the ship, trying to see where the asteroids are coming from, and kind of trying to see if he can protect anything in the front of the ship. Considering
Love the
it's
idea that you're just sat there trying to punch stuff out of the way as it comes.
Yes.
It's thoughtful.
Brilliant. So actually, yes. Would you be able to make me Would you be able to make me an investigation check, please?
Yes.
Fantastic.
A 9.
Amazing. Okay. As we get sort of actually, could everybody make me investigation checks, please?
Oui, oui, madame.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No.
All right, Charlie, what did we get?
I rolled a 1.
Amazing. Dicky? Oh, 1 second.
Apologies, I had myself on mute because I was coughing. I rolled a 16.
16. Tee Bee Dee?
17.
17?
17.
17. All right. Excellent.
Way.
And BB got an 8. So the ship continues to move through the asteroid field, seemingly unencumbered. Absolutely nothing seems amiss. Nothing seems out of the blue. All of a sudden, Tee Bee Dee, whereabouts on the ship are you?
I'm right next to Dicky.
You're right next to Dicky. Okay. So in the helm. So
Where I always am.
So as you are looking out and cheering and having a lovely time, and cheering, oh, Dicky, you're so fine. You turn to your right and just notice that one of the asteroids opens an eye. A single massive orb, easily 20 foot across, is staring down at you from the side. And as the eye opens, so does a giant maw. This mass of rock is huge. It could easily be 70 foot top to bottom. And it is looking directly at you.
Dicky, I think we have a new friend.
Has Dicky ever seen anything like this before?
Make me a history check.
Ooh, that's new. Sorry, my screen just did something weird. Can you still see me?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Should I do one as well?
Oh.
Since I'm also looking straight into its big eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. I will.
Oh, bugger.
History.
What do we got?
I got. Okay.
Okay, so Tee Bee Dee, what was your roll?
That was a 9.
A 9. Okay, and Dicky?
I got a 22.
Fantastic.
Ooh,
Dicky, you
curious.
have seen this before. You know this thing well. This is an eye monger. They sit among asteroid fields and debris, very much inanimate and completely and utterly silent. It isn't until they spot prey that they become active. They are not to be trifled with at a certain size. This thing is way beyond anything you guys have on board. It's huge and it looks hungry.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your cleric speaking. If you take a look out of your left side window, you will see.
All right. I'm gonna need the ship to roll initiative, and because Dicky is in charge, could you roll me initiative, please?
Yes.
So reminding Dicky, you have bardic inspiration at some point.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well done.
Oh, am I allowed to use bardic inspiration for initiative?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
Oh, yes, I have the game log open. Yes.
Yes, you
and bardic inspiration is a D4, yes?
Yes.
No. I know
Okay,
things.
so that was a 4, so 4 plus 7, so 11.
So
It is
12.
modest.
So okay. So
No,
yes.
bardic inspiration, it says 1d8.
Oh.
Oh, it's 1d8. Oh, right, because you're silly me.
Wait, we got like.
Well, that time I
thing
rolled
for
a
it.
3.
Oh,
so
somebody has Matt Thomas?
Old man Thomas.
Oh, okay. Dicky, as you are trying to figure out what's happening, and you see this and you panic and you begin to try and reach for the tannoy to tell everybody what's happening, you accidentally activate the battle narwhal. Thank you, Matt Thomas. The tail attempts to come up and around, but the Kellic slips, like you hear this horrible screeching noise.
Oh, no.
And it's like nails on a chalkboard, but like the grinding of gears and metal, screaming horribly. The battle narwhal attempts to activate, and then it's just stuck straight up. It won't move. It won't
Bobby's
go
gonna
beyond
kill
this position. Okay. Sorry. The ship's initiative. What was that?
I guess it's a 10 now.
It's a 10. All right. The Eyemonger got. You will be happy to know the Eyemonger got a 5.
Period.
So,
Period.
So, what would you like to do?
I'm still attuned to this. Am I able to fire the cannon?
You can, but presently the cannon is just straight up. That's pretty much the only way it is aimed at the moment, and the Eyemonger is just sort of back and to your left.
Okay, back and to my left. And is the cannon toward the top or bottom of my body?
So the captain's helm is sort of on that first deck, and then the cannon is straight up behind you. So it's behind you and up.
It's like the back of my head.
Mm.
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of a twister move Dicky has to do to get the cannon to face the Eyemonger.
So I can tell you now that you're not strong enough to be able to shift what is easily 200 tons of metal in that direction, but you are welcome to try.
I had already thought that. maybe not considering the leg incident.
Oh, okay, good point. Dicky just kind of stuck like that for a minute as he's frantically trying to think, and goes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a very violent and large Eyemonger. My cannon does not work, so who's got a spell?
You hear Bee Dee from the front of the ship just go, Captain, might I suggest we cheese it?
Good call, Bee Dee. How do I do that? Because he has not driven this in a while.
I'm gonna go with make it go forward. As this is happening, the Eyemonger is getting closer to the edge of the ship.
Dicky just does what he perceives as cheesing it forward, trying to like just sprint, but as a ship.
Sort of Running Man in place, like.
Jelly's upside down right now, right?
Where you were
I
Where-
was in the front
At
of
a
the
right
ship.
angle.
Wait, so you were
I was in front of the ship, so I'm like
were in
upside
front of the
down now.
ship.
Yeah.
No, if at the very front of the ship near the
Yeah.
spire. No, you're fine. You're all good.
Okay.
That section still hasn't moved. It's just the tail section that was
Okay.
attempting to come up and round that is
Okay.
stuck up. So you are fine. You are all good at the moment. And I'd like to think that even in an anti-gravity situation, you just suction to whatever would be around you. But yeah, so the ship lurches forward. And as it does, it sort of hits a couple of asteroids, but moves very quickly out of the field. And unable to sort of really sense where you're going, you're just sort of hitting rocks left, right, and center, barely coming out with the ship intact at this point. It's getting away from the thing behind you, which is moving very slowly. So
Okay.
you are away from the danger at this point,
Okay.
and it's after about sort of like 5 minutes. You can't see it anymore. But as you are then moving forward and just almost about to slow down, you come into contact with, or what you see before you in the midst of this field, just a little too late, is a shipwreck strewn across the rocks. Different sections of it are pulled apart and sort of settled on asteroids, but its entire its air bubble is still the same. It's all still whole. The air bubble itself has this weird murky quality to it. It looks almost like a gas is sort of inside it. But it's a little too late to move the ship out of the course of the path with this shipwreck. And as you move forward, you collide. This shipwreck before you was like a galleon of some variety. It was huge. It was at least 4 times the size of your ship. And as you just sort of come, as Dicky sort of moves the ship around and under and attempts to get away from it, your air bubbles merge. And with air bubble merging and the physics of it, when a larger object collides with a smaller object, then both of them have air bubbles, the smaller air bubble takes on the quality of the larger air bubble. All of a sudden, it is very difficult to breathe. You feel the air tastes wrong. Jelly, I believe, Jellamiah
hold my
doesn't
breath.
need. You can hold your breath.
Yeah.
Can anyone else hold their breath, or does anybody have any traits or abilities to not breathe?
I don't think I breathe as an auto gnome.
Oh, it's me.
Looks like
It's
I
me.
need to breathe.
Okay, wait. So Dicky needs to breathe. Charlie and Drakey Jake.
Yeah, we're both breathers. I'm sorry, you know,
Aw.
it's low tech. It's not classy, but we're both. I think like I might
no,
when
I
you
don't.
say does he need to breathe? Is it that there's no breathable air, or it's like so foul it's like
It's
claggy?
so foul, it is slightly toxic.
I think he's tearing off the nearest piece of cloth. He's adapting it, popping it over. Goes Drakey Jake first, then himself.
Aww.
That's not
Wait.
that's not airline rules.
No, it's not airline rules, and I've just realized that drakes are like magical creatures. I don't think they need to breathe because
Oh.
he's summoned. But I'm gonna put a rag on him anyway.
Excellent.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Can
I've
I-
that's
confirmed
what I can
auto
do.
gnomes are fine. We don't need to breathe.
So auto gnomes are good. Dicky, Sam, and if Sam can roll for Drakey Jake as well, could you
Yes.
all make me Constitution saves, please?
My boy, my precious lizard boy.
Dirty 20.
Oh, beautiful. Well done. You only take half damage.
Okay.
So. Oops, is that the astral menagerie? Yep.
No.
Oh no! What?
Okay. So one of us got a 19 and one of us got a 4.
Who do you want to say got what?
Drakey Jake got the 19.
Oh,
My son. My boy. He's probably just there like in a like you know when like animals just don't react to like major things that they should understand are happening and they're just there like and then I'm there like oh my boy, my son.
So you wrapping that cloth around his face has just made sure that whatever effects the air is about to put upon you is going to be lesser for him. So what I'm going to need you to do is take so Dicky saved. Can you take 1d8 of toxic damage, please? Poison damage, please. And Sam, could you take? Can Drakey Jake take 1d8, and can you take 2d8, please? So to all astral travelers, foul air is a killer. It is known, like, you need fresh air to live and breathe if you are a breathing organism. And so there is a point at which travelers in Wildspace systems need to stop off at larger planets in order to refresh their air systems. After about 120 days, the air gets foul. And then another 120 days afterwards, it becomes deadly. The ship that has been out on that rock has probably been there for about 10 months. You sort of estimate. The air is thick and it hurts. So as you are sort of breathing in, you can just feel it coursing through your veins. It's vile stuff, and you choke a little bit every time you breathe in. As the ship sort of clears that final hurdle almost out of the asteroid field, you see before you the rest of the system, of the Wildspace system. You are free from the asteroids and all of the horrors that lurk within them. Bee Bee rolls around to the front and sort of looks at Tee Bee Dee and Jelly, and then at the captain and at Charlie, and is looking around like, "Oh God. Oh, we need to land. We need to land now. This will just get worse. This will get worse. This will get worse."
Tee Bee's totally oblivious. She's just like, "What is happening?" She's just like still playing with the Drake. She's like, "Oh, I love your little mask. Oh, it looks so good on you."
Totally oblivious.
Totally oblivious. Like, what is wrong with you guys? Are you okay?
I'm just out.
Calculating. Closest planet is Hakatha. Roughly 20 minutes. 20 minutes, Captain.
That sounds great. Would you please take over? I don't know where Hakatha is, and I am scared.
Absolutely understandable. Yes, sir. He looks between you and Charlie, and then just very slyly casts air bubble on you. You just hear a sort of very mechanical whirring, like, and all of a sudden, an almost astronaut sort of helmet of air, fresh air, appears around your head, and it's clear air. It's no longer foul, so you can breathe. And he sort of looks at Charlie and goes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't, please don't let the Drake eat me. And he rolls back into position, and quite quickly shoves himself into the helm seat and directs the ship in the new direction of the planet Hakatha, which is about 20 minutes away. What would you guys like to be doing during this time?
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I cheat the system? Because since I'm a plasmoid, I'm constantly absorbing air.
Yes.
And so I might have some fresh air still within me.
Ooh.
Is
So
the air
can
still
I?
fresh after it comes out of a plasmoid?
I mean, it's
That's for the
less
connoisseur,
toxic.
really.
It
So
depends
can
on
I,
which part of the plasmoid.
Can I grab my hand and put it over Charlie's head and expand it so it's like a clear bubble?
Oh. Yes, but what I am going to say is that you sacrifice some of your ability to hold your breath. So that big breath that you took in sort of beforehand, that's now halved in time. So you have 30 minutes of air, and Charlie has 30 minutes of air.
All right, sounds good.
Oh my gosh, that's such a cool
Incredible.
idea. That's a lovely
Well
idea.
moved.
Brilliant.
You just hear
And like a gloop, and all of a sudden you can't hear anything that Charlie is saying.
Meanwhile, Dicky, who is going through a roller coaster of emotions and is just like, I haven't been scared and stressed and overwhelmed in so long. It's been a while. I feel things. And then kind of takes a look at Charlie and goes, oh, right. And puts a hand on Charlie and casts Cure Wounds at the first level because Dicky experienced the poison gas and knows that it does do damage. And Dicky assumes the Drake is okay because reasons.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
You get 12 back.
Thank you very much.
I also, yeah, of course. I also, did it do it automatically? I noticed on my features and traits that I gain back some life myself when I heal people.
Oh, lovely.
Here, let me find it. Yeah. When I cast a spell of the first level or higher that restores HP to a creature other than me, I regain HP equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So I get 3 hit points back.
Nice.
I don't know why it didn't do it automatically on Beyond, though. But yeah. Anyway.
Technical difficulties. Stuff that we are very familiar with. So, as you are sort of frantically sort of moving around and trying to figure out all of your different air supplies, Tee Bee Dee, what are you up to?
I've been bouncing around and noticing like little things have fallen off the ship here and there. And so I'm just casting Mending. Just being like, oh, just put this back together and put this back together. And I've wandered off. Not too far off, but just outside as I'm like mending things just outside the deck.
Amazing. So
singing little songs to myself.
As you gradually mend stuff, so the way that sort of damage works on the ship as well is like the ship has hit points. So as you are mending, you are slowly restoring some of those hit points as well. So the ship is sort of beginning to creak less, let's say, and feel a little bit less like it's just been thrown around in like a roller derby. It's coming back together slowly but surely as you are making all of these excellent little changes and
I
fixes.
can try to fix you.
Fucking bards, man. So the ship is speeding towards its new destination now. So of all of the planets in the realm space system, Hakatha is the 8th. It's the furthest out, and that's good because what happens on Hakatha has reached your ears through rumors and through horror stories. Hakatha is a single disc with a spire at its very center, a huge mountain that reaches far, far up, like 3 or 4 times the height of Everest. It is a very, very big mountain, and the single sheet of ice sort of gives way to this spire right in the middle, with a smaller spire underneath as well. But for all imports and purposes, it is a flat earther's wet dream. They'd love it there. As it gets sort of closer into view, you see what appears to be small explosions happening on top of the spire and all around at the base. It's clear that there is activity going on, and it's not good activity. But the Spelljammer comes into range of Hakatha, and it is struggling at this point. For all of the mending that Tee Bee Dee has done, the ship has been through the works. It's gonna need some repairs before it sets off again. But you all can see that like the tail isn't going down, it's just straight upright, and the sides of it have been ripped away like a giant tin opener. And as you guys sort of move towards Hakatha and you begin the bubbling process again around this disc, the minute that the ship comes into contact with Hakatha, the air clears, and all of a sudden you can all breathe again quite happily. It's all good. You're all fine. So as you move forward, what you see along Hecatha are a series of spaceports lining the rim effectively. There are 6 of them. Now, I would like... Who's going to do it? Yeah, we'll go with Dicky. Could you roll me a d6, please?
Sure. Also, while I'm rolling the d6, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did we bring some of the shipwreck with us?
Oh, yes, I didn't actually... I would say... Let's do a very quick hindsight check, because I've sort of moved through that quickly because I was just a little bit aware of time. Sorry, guys. Can I get you all to do a sort of hindsight perception check? Or memory, as we would call it. I don't know.
So, perception roll?
Perception,
Okay.
yeah. The ship itself was really beat up. There was nothing really there to take. It was just sort of wood and stuff in space.
21.
21.
Wow.
9.
9.
15.
All right. Charlie?
15.
15.
Hey.
Excellent. You scored over a 10. I'm going to say because the ship got into such close range with this galleon that you could see the name of the ship on the aft. I don't think that's the name for it, but there we go. On the aft of the ship. And it was called the Foxcroft's Revenge.
Amazing. Cool.
I have so many questions about what that looks like.
And Em, what was the result of that d6 roll?
5.
Okay. All right.
Oh no.
So-
No, hang on.
No,
hang on.
no.
Did she say 5? She meant like 4.
Yeah.
Or 3. Whichever one makes you not smile.
So as you are approaching Hecatha, and you can see these 6 different spaceports, Dicky is going to, I guess, if you, well, okay, sorry, I'm getting all in my head and a bit meta about this. BB calls down to the captain. Captain, which port?
And Dicky, just kind of being a little overwhelmed and having a great time at it, is like, oh, 5! What's at 5?
Spaceport 5 confirmed, locked in. And the ship begins to veer around and heads down to, from where you are, sort of the south side of the planet. And the spaceport for this is sort of beyond the ice sheet itself, and towards the base of the spire is this sort of massive port that you can see ships sort of coming in and out of and ducking away very quickly. And the closer that you get to this port, suddenly you feel... what was the description of 5? I wrote them all out, and then I deleted the document yesterday because I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to need that.
Why would you do that?
Because I was like, oh, I won't run it this way. And then I've decided to run it this way because she's an idiot, baby.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a loose cannon. Who doesn't play by the rules?
Rogue. The maverick.
So as they approach Spaceport 5, you can see a sort of bustling city happening above. The spaceport itself is up on like a floating platform almost, with one giant like an elevator pod almost pulling down from the platform and then down into the city below. As the ship sort of nears the platform, you can see on the surface of the platform what looks like a lot of militant behavior and militant activities. And the closer you get, you can see that they are all wearing a sort of uniform, and they are marching in very similar styles. So the ship pulls up to the side into what looks like a vacant space. You can see BB is like rolling its head around as if communicating with something on the ground. Ooh, excuse me. And the ship sort of janks and jeers and all of a sudden drops down next to this platform. So you guys are able to get off next to it. But yeah, what you see before you is not welcoming, in the very least. It is militant as hell. It is everything you can see before you looks rigid and cold, and like there are orders to be given for stuff to be happening. People are loading crates and unboxing cargo, and there are weapons that don't look great. Charlie probably has. Charlie has a gun.
I got a gun.
These
Charlie's got a
things
gun.
are beyond guns. These are not
No.
things you've seen before, and they are scary, large and imposing, and a lot of people have them. But the general spaceport itself is bustling with activity and lots of people trying to do trade and move cargo around. But there is this presence, and it is heavy, and it feels stifling. Yeah. Now, what would you like to do?
I do not like this choreography. They are all moving together, but it's not very fun.
Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of wondering if we should engage in some form of dishonesty with these sorts of people, seem official when we're not, or do we just tell them the truth?
Jelly is like sitting on his bucket, and like the ping pong balls of his eyes just kind of like come out like a snail's eyes would, and you just hear from the inside the bucket,
I don't know, Dicky. This does not give me a good vibe.
It definitely does not pass the vibe check.
Dicky sort of takes another look around and goes, "You know what? It doesn't pass the vibe check, you're right. But this is when men of science are needed. They have undoubtedly lots of respect for doctoring and sciencing." And Dicky sort of strides off really quickly to his lab, which Sasha and I jokingly referred to as the Dicky Dome before the stream, and I'm going to keep it. So his lab is a dome-shaped lab. It is a man cave of a lab. And sometimes, instead of test tubes, he uses mugs, but sometimes he also uses mugs for tea, and sometimes they get a little confused. But all of the mugs are like the special prints you can get from DeviantArt of BB's paintings. So they're all BB's paintings. But anyway, he strides in, grabs his lab coat, and a cape for good measure, like one of the little side capes, so that he looks like an extra fancy doctor because he feels he is one. Does he have credentials? No, but they don't know that. And Dicky's convinced that credentials don't mean anything. So he comes back and he's like, "All right, time to be physicians. They'll fix our ship and understand that we're here on important science business." And Dicky just kind of pokes his head out of the ship and says, "Ahoy! Doctors Without Borders are here."
Oh my god.
That's it. Did it.
TB's no. TB's freaking out. She grabs Dicky from behind, jerks him back in, going, "Dicky, what are you doing? You're not dressed like them. We need to get the costumes on. Look how they're wearing."
Oh.
As all this is happening, two very heavily armored figures cutting a really severe silhouette begin to march forward, having noticed that the ship has docked, and wait sort of at the edge of the port, and then where your ship is. You can't quite make out them from where you are presently on the ship. You're a bit further back, but you just hear one of them yell up, "Boarding is beginning, please lower your plank."
Question: can we do a perception check to see if there's any kind of insignia all over these folks?
Yes, absolutely.
You're going to do a Lord of War as they're coming on, like change all the logos.
Yeah, 21.
21. Oh, Tee Bee. So you notice on each of their foreheads, they have 3 dots marked on. They appear to be very similar to that, hilariously. They have, you'd think they were tattoos if they weren't so red. You're fairly certain they're scars. They are also all cutting very short white bobs. All of them are humanoid in some capacity.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, my friend. Yeah, I know. Like, no dogs.
No
They're
dogs allowed.
bastards. Tee Bee, you have been in space for a while, and with your background, having traveled a little bit as a companion, I'm going to say that you know this sign and you know these people. This is the uniform of the Sunless Sisters. The Sunless Sisters, of course, are a trading union of sorts, but a more militant one at best. They are not an organization that negotiates. They are ruthless, and they know very much what is always at stake within the astral plane. With that, they have created a larger organization that is ready to move at a moment's notice. And as you look around the spaceport, you see a lot of people sporting this uniform, and you see a lot of people sporting their colors. You're fairly certain they probably have a base here.
Okay. Tee Bee's like grabbed Dicky and pulled him down. Now listen. Everyone else hide. Dicky, you stay here. Go, Jelly, Charlie, go. Get the drink out of here.
Jelly just grabs the mop and plops it on top of him, so he looks like a mop.
Perfect.
And bucket.
Tee Bee also like unfolds one of her fingers and like zaps 3 dots into Dicky's forehead, going, "Shut up! It doesn't hurt that bad."
Ah!
Now listen to me. These are the Sunless Sisters. I don't know if you know them, but you have to act like a zombie. Yeah, no emotions.
No emotions.
Perfect. Okay. She doesn't know what to do about the bob because the costumes are too far away from her performance stuff. But she scurries off trying to see if she can grab one before this boarding starts.
So once again, you hear from the platform, like, "We do not have all day. Lower your plank now. Boarding will begin."
Does Dicky have means of communicating back to...
You can shout.
Okay, I mean, okay, wait. Can I see the people from whom this message is coming?
Yes, so it's the 2 that have marched up to the the dock, or the side of the platform, next to your ship.
I see. So they are nearby. I don't know why I was imagining them like up somewhere.
No, so it's like the ship is sort of pulled into the side of the platform, almost like a ship would, like at a regular dock. But with the way that the Spelljammers are able to work, this thing is just, it's hovering in place as opposed to being tied in place so that it doesn't float out into the Astral Sea. So you are next to this spaceport, and the 2 people that are demanding to be let on are just sort of sat on the edge waiting for you to begin your boarding process.
Thank you.
No
so
worries.
Dicky will say, yes, that is the problem. We've sustained some damage on our ship and are unable to do so. We would like to comply, but find ourselves unable. And it makes us feel nothing.
Tee Bee runs in an act that I am stealing blatantly from the chat, because sometimes the chat has better ideas than we do, having broken another mop head off of a mop and sticks it on top of Dicky's head. Then rearranges her own outfit, her own metallic outfit, just sort of be like this next to Dicky.
Oh yes, because you've got your wardrobe built in, so you do a little transformer move, and you've suddenly you're wearing the colors of the sisters.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. So Dicky says this. Tee Bee is going through a costume change, and you just hear a voice come up from the side, just like, "You have 30 seconds to comply."
You just hear a fart coming from the bucket.
Dicky says, "We are unable to comply. We need help."
You hear sort of a little bit of back and forth chat between the 2, and then one of them walks off. From your sort of position, I'm going to say if you wanted to sort of peer over, you'd see that one of them was going off to literally get a plank that they can then just use to get on the ship. So they've walked off and grabbed one, and then are coming back.
Excellent. So Dicky is going to turn to Tee Bee and just say, right, so far so good, seems normal enough. Maybe they'll help fix the ship.
Maybe if I sing them a song.
You just hear another fart coming from the bucket.
And
They're kind of
ladybugs
creepy.
fly at him.
Pelted in the head by fucking ladybugs again. All right. So as this sort of continues, Charlie, what are you doing?
Oh,
Oh, have we lost Charlie?
Oh,
for a moment. I think
Sam,
so.
if you can hear us, if you would like to, there we go.
Hey.
Hey, he's back. Charlie, what are you up to?
I'm in two minds about this. Okay. Ask me about Drakey Jake later. It will become apparent if you do anything with the ship. I think I'm going to act as like bosun to the captain. I'm going to like prep anything that like Dicky needs. I'm like going to throw off my hat and stuff my gun in like an umbrella stand or something. Likely, I'm sorry, the nearest umbrella stand looking object, which will be the gun in. All right, look, what we need to do. We've got a gangplank. Do we need anything?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just hoping that these friendly people will help us fix our ship so that we can continue doing science.
No, excellent, great. I'll just look busy then. And he just grabs like a loop
Yeah.
of rope and starts like looping it and just doing some general boat stuff.
Oh,
as-
You're welcome,
over
Boba
under.
fans.
Over under is great if you're using if it's like mechanical cords, you know what I mean? Like you do the one with the rope, but
Already
the other
tangled.
ones, it's a different move.
Like,
Yeah.
claws.
All right. So Jelly's in a bucket. Tee Bee and Dicky are disguised, and Charlie is doing boat stuff. Good stuff. As this is all happening, and as you are sort of scrambling to get into a position, you just see over the side in the railing, one of these sort of like slatted planks is popped over the side, and it has like a little hook that allows it to get onto the railings. It's quite wide, and then all of a sudden you just see the top of the head of one of the two that have been sat down, that have been down on the platform this entire time, and she looks pissed. She is sporting this sort of short white bob with the 3 dots on top of her forehead, which is only marred by like a vein of just like pure anger and rage sort of coming before it. And as she sort of moves up and hops on, you can hear the clank of her armor, and it is white as her bob. And she carries at her side what looks like some sort of sword come pistol. You've never seen a design quite like it before. It looks dangerous, and it doesn't look like you want it pointed at you. She continues up the ladder, and then at that final sort of point, she just sort of hops the railing very casually in heavy armor. That's a feat. So this girl is built. And she sort of
She
lands
sounds
with a thud.
I know, right?
He sounds
TB
hot.
immediately gets a
Christy has
crush.
entered the chat.
Oh no! Have I made a game where the women are all buff and real strong? And oh no, am I in control? Oh no! She lands very heavily with a thud, and then glares at each of you in turn and raises an eyebrow. You don't. Your papers.
Yep, I'll just, Captain, the papers, I will get them.
Yes. Thank you for making that offer, Charlie.
Not a problem, Captain.
You're a good
scurry
team
off.
member.
He scurries off. She's looking at sort of each of you and is beginning to sort of scrutinize your what was I'm actually gonna make her roll a perception check. I want to see if she can sort of see through your disguises. There's something in her eyes.
I'm
Yes.
just a simple country cat. No need to look further here.
Sort of looking at you and while waiting for these papers, she sort of her stance loosens somewhat, and she sort of looks at you and goes, "What division are you from?"
Sorry. No sneeze. It's not coming out.
Bless you.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to be that dramatic. It was just really poorly timed. Back in character. Back to it.
Oh, that wasn't in character? I was
I thought that was in character.
She looks at you
Sorry,
and goes,
I didn't take the glasses off. It's where it gets confusing.
she looks at you and goes, "The Emperor bless you."
Oh.
The Emperor bless you.
Thank you.
Alright.
Dicky goes, yes, we were in a toxic cloud. It was a whole thing. Apparently it's still stuck in my nose. Thank you for the blessing. As far as what division we are with, actually, we've been sent here from a charitable organization of doctors and scientists to help with the effort. So.
She looks at you in disbelief.
I couldn't believe it myself.
What division are you with? I need its name and number, and also your commanding officer.
Dicky's going to take a moment to consider whether or not to make something up and try it. And as Dicky is thinking, we just hear,
She casts her glance over to Tee Bee.
From Tee Bee's like history knowledge, yeah. Is there anything from what she's heard that she can muster up just to get like, not a stab in the dark, but she has a general like, I think I've heard of X like this.
Roll me another history check.
Oui, oui, madame. Please do not suck. It suck. I'm a built for success. I can add a D4 to one ability check. This is not going to be a success. It's a 4. We bumped it up to a 15.
Oh, a 15. Okay, that's pretty decent. So you know, from rumors and from news lines that you have been privy to in the past, that the Sunless Sisters work in several different divisions across all of the astral plane. They are not just in Wildspace; they are everywhere. So their divisions would be en masse. They would be huge. You'd be surprised if they had less than several thousand divisions at the very least. With regards to commanding officers, the only name that strikes you immediately is Sister Leona. Has been in the news for not good things, namely atrocities that have been spun and propaganda-like ways to be seen as these heroic crusades. But the rest of the world generally, or the rest of the universe generally, sees them as monstrous. But that's probably the only name you know, or that anyone knew. Yeah.
Is it clear? So whereabouts? I mean, how far does the news travel? Yeah, I must have heard about the news.
So the news travels from system to system about the sisters because of how prolific they are. So you will have. This is probably going to be quite common knowledge. It'll be from any system, from the Obsidian Sun system through to the Charnelian system, from any corner.
So everyone knows where Sister Leona's from. Is that the realm? Is there
the realm, then the division, or
the what are we in right now?
So we are currently in realm space.
Realm space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
So is Sister Leona from Tarl?
Sister Leo. Nobody knows where Sister Leona is from, but they know that she operates within realm space.
Okay.
Okay.
We believe you know our commanding officer, Sister Leona.
Her jaw drops open, and she laughs. She is staring at you, howling.
This is her, isn't it? You know, the Sister Leona the second. There are two of them. You may have heard about the one, but we are from the other one.
No, please.
It's a bold play. Let's see if it plays off for them.
You see her put her hand on her side piece and look you dead in the eye and go, Sister Leona is my commanding officer. I don't recognize you, soldier.
Yes, we are new.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Soldierly conduct
Dicky.
all round.
Dicky goes. At this point, it seems like it's time for some honesty on our part. We have had one hell of a day. We encountered a shipwreck. We almost got eaten by an fishmonger, eyemonger. I'm sorry, because we also were in the Astral Sea, and my brain got a little scrambled because I am made of meat. All of this has happened in a very short span of time, where this is an emergency landing. We are here for emergency repairs. Whatever else is going on, we're kind of ignorant to that. It looks really interesting and possibly kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we were just sort of frightened by our day, quite frankly, and it made us a little prone to lie. I hope you'll forgive the dishonesty, but you're welcome to cast Zone of Truth on me whenever you like, and I'll answer whatever question you want. We really mean no harm. We're just, well, as you can see, the ship is in pretty bad shape. It's not ready for the next disco party, and I want a disco party, so fingers
So,
crossed.
just so I am crystal clear,
Yeah.
you are impersonating officers from my division. You are here without papers. Your ship is badly damaged. And just to top it off, you want a disco party. Have I gotten everything there?
The bucket just farts.
At this point, we're going to take a short break. So yeah, we're gonna go quickly grab a cup of tea or go to the toilet, but not both.
Tea.
Yeah,
Thank you,
those
Swabs.
are the rules. Thank you, Swabs. And we will be back in about 10 minutes, probably about 10 o'clock. So yeah, go pee. See you then.